Nothing drains a high performer faster than having to clean up the messes and the lack of motivated work from other people that are unwilling to step up and do it. Now, that's a quote from the great Layla Hermosi recently on her LinkedIn. Now, I'm a huge fan of Alex and Layla, and I will agree for the most part with this quote. I'll tell you that high performers have to have a plan in place for their advancement. They have to know exactly how they can make more money, and they have to know exactly where they're going in the company in order to stay, because on average, these people don't stay more than 2.5 to 3 years. Those are your A players, your top 20% of your producers in sales, marketing, leadership, all of those things. They'll generally move about every 3 years unless they have some kind of equity where they can directly affect how much more money they're going to make, and they know exactly their career direction, because those really high performers that are trying to scale in their career are moving every 2.5 to 3 years. Now, when you look forward of this, what I'll tell you is that most people at companies are not your high performers. About 60% of every company's employees are what we call B players. They're people that show up every day, they punch the clock, they're done at 5, they want to go home and see their family, they just want to do a good job, feel like they do a good day's work for an honest wage for that day, and they're good to go. And as long as they get their yearly raise and they're treated well at work, they're mostly happy. Now, because that's the majority of people at work, those people usually will not have a bad influence on the A players. But the A players, the top 20%, will have the hardest time with what we call the C players, or the remedial employees. Now, those are people that are either in the wrong role, they're at the wrong company, or they just don't care. They're disenfranchised either because they've had a bad manager, it's a bad workplace, or they're in the completely wrong fit for them as a person and they shouldn't be there anymore. And a company should get rid of those people as quick as possible. They should progressively discipline them out. Now, when you look at it and you go, okay, so how do we make sure that the A players don't have to reach down and clean up for the C players? It's that when the C players make their messes, you don't dumb down the work environment for everybody else to slow down and have to fit to them. They have to speed up or they have to go out. And companies really have got in the habit of dragging this out with PIPs and everything else. If they don't meet metrics after 30, 60 days, whatever it happens to be, it's a verbal. A month later, it's a written. 2 weeks to a month later, it's a term. You get them out so that they don't drag down the rest of the company. How many people have you guys seen just sit in their chair for years at work and they barely do any work? They do the bare minimum. They're on YouTube. They're completely checked out of their jobs. And those folks, companies leave them there forever. And then they wonder why the A players that want to move fast, that want to shake, that want to like get things going, that want to make real money, leave the company. It's because the class is being dumbed down for all the other students, all the other workers, to make it slow enough to pick up the people at the bottom. So I tell companies, out-process the people that are not working for you and give your A players a really career path to be able to make more money and to stay. That's how you keep them. But let me know, if you're a top performer at your company, what has been the thing that's made you jump ship and go to another role?